What is going on, guys? JT43 here, and in this video this is going to be part 2 of fixing my water leak. So if you didn't watch part 1, I advise you to go do so, because then you'll be all caught up. But just a brief explanation: I had water pooling up in my rear right rug, so this section right here. I went ahead and gutted my interior so I can get a big picture of it, and it turned out to be this taillight that was letting a bunch of water in. Like I said, if you're interested, go watch that video. Maybe even help you out, or maybe even give you a good place to start if you're having a water leak issue too. But this video specifically is going to be me fixing the water leak. So I already diagnosed it. I already know what the problem is. Now all I have to do is fix it. What came in the mail last night is something that I have a separate video coming for, but it's pretty much new taillights. So let's take a look at these taillights real quick. And here they are. Now, obviously, they look very different to what I previously had. So if you haven't guessed it already, these are 2014 to 2016 taillights. If you haven't guessed it by now, I'm pretty much going to be rear end swapping my whole Scion TC. I'm going to be 2014 to 2016 rear swapping my Scion TC. That's going to be a whole separate video of me doing the conversion. I still have some parts on the way to do that process. I'm waiting on my bumper, and I have a little kick to do for it too, but like I said, that's going to be in a separate video. So I picked these up on eBay. You know, the brand is literally called Depot. But let me tell you something. These taillights for both were $300. If you want to buy one from Toyota, they're $300 for just one taillight. So I got $300 for both compared to $300 for just one taillight. So today's video is going to be fixing the water leak, starting with the taillight, seeing if the taillight is going to be the solution to not letting water in. So previous episode, right around this section right here, water was just pooling into the car. Absolutely right around here, it was just water falling in. So now that I have a new paper gasket and a new taillight, problem should be fixed, and we're gonna find that out today. Let's go throw this in the car and we'll water test it and see if this fixes it. So on second thought, before I do anything else, I'm gonna have to cut any part of rug that is wet. So my original plan was going to be to either wash the rug or shampoo the rug out, or, you know, buy a new rug. But these videos, I'm kind of jump cutting. So I'm filming a little bit here, and then a couple days goes by, and then I'm filming a little bit here. Driving the car like this it's starting to become a little unbearable. The thing about having wet carpets and waiting for them to dry is it kind of creates mold, right? So I've been driving with this thing, airing it out everywhere I go, driving with windows down, you know, because it will dry out. Now, the one bad rain at the start of part 1 that I was talking about, that was the longest it ever took to dry out. But other than that, it would dry out normally fine. The car is starting to smell like mold. Whenever I let this thing sit for a while, because I've been driving my Lexus. If you watch my channel, I have a Lexus that I've been driving. It's getting a little bit unbearable. So it's gonna look a little ugly, but I have my mats and I have my rubber mats like these guys that I can put on top of it. But I'm gonna have to cut the rug out. Before I do anything else, I'm just gonna cut the rugs out. So yeah, it looks kind of ugly. It was definitely necessary. Keeping water trapped in like that, because the surface of this side dry, but all of this underneath is soaking wet. Like if I just cutting it, this knife is wet. So just keeping moisture trapped under there is just it's not good. So what I did was I cut everything that was wet and I left everything that was dry. Hence, I have a square shape. I'm not entirely worried. I really don't care that it looks that ugly. Like I said, I have not only the mats, but I also have the rubber mats to go over it. So that will kind of fill in its spot. So what I'm gonna do now is clean it up a little bit more, and I'm gonna put some paper towels down to really soak up the moisture and get it all out of here, because that smell, man, it's fucking, dude, it's killing me. Okay, so it is now 2 months later since that last clip. I kind of wanted to give a little bit of time before I go ahead and just replace the taillight and then say, you know, water test and be like, all right, it was the gasket. I wanted to actually prove that and give it some time and then kind of give my feedback on it. It's been 2 months, no leaks, nothing like that. Pretty much my diagnosis was correct. It was the rear right taillight gasket that was failing. So if I come around here, so as we know, my gasket right over here started to let in water, or right over here started to let in water. And so I replaced the taillight because I was doing my rear conversion anyway. I think you can individually replace that gasket. I just don't know the part number. I couldn't find it, but since I was doing my rear conversion, I decided to replace my taillight anyway, and that came with obviously a new gasket. And since having that new gasket, I haven't had any leaks so far. I haven't had water pooling up in my rear right kind of passenger area, and I haven't had water pooling in my trunk, and I haven't had water pooling into my seat like I was before. I think it's safe to say this is the fix. Anyway, this was a short video, but if you did enjoy the video or if the sub's on anyway, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.